You want to start a software company, but you have no idea how I got you in this video. I'm going to be breaking down the full end-to-end process of how you can start a software company and get your first paying customer in as little as 90 days. So after you finish watching this video, you will literally be equipped with all of the information required. You to literally get an idea, validate your idea, build your idea without knowing a thing about how to write a line of code. Get your first customer, your first 10 customers, and so on and so forth. So let's dive into it. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you like my channel, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment on this video. So obviously we have to start with an idea, and everyone always take. Getting an idea is the hardest part, but I promise you guys, it is actually the easiest part. Once you understand, you need to stop trying to look for the next Amazon, the next Google. That is not what you're trying to capture. It is very important that you sell things that already have demand. It is very, very, very difficult to create an idea out of thin air with zero demand and then go create all of the demand for it. So instead, just go sell something that already has demand. The best way to do that is to find these things that are in demand, to find software companies that are already making a ton of money, and basically to then replicate that with your own twist by making something better. Adding a new feature, doing a different pricing model, something that sorts. So let me walk you through an example. There's a software company called retention.com that makes a ton of money. And basically what they are, their website visitor identification tool. And to validate my SaaS.com. And they're going to send you a huge breakdown of like a ton of different things about your idea. The competitors pricing, the competitors' features, and it'll also give you like a customer analysis of them. It'll give you their product hunt, launch information, and performance. So it's going to give you a ton of information around your idea that is going to help you. Validate it now. The other thing that we can do to validate this idea is we can actually pre-sell it. And so we can create an early bird landing page where we can call out our ideal client profile, say the main benefits of your software, and then a reason to join the early bird waitlist, whether it's a discount on the launch, whether it's a free PDF, whatever it may be. And then you can go send outbound DMs and cold emails to get people on your waitlist. And so I actually did this for Zap, and I just did a stupid, simple cold email. I said like, hey, name, I'm going to cut straight to it. I'm building a power dialer that's going to allow you to dial up to 5 people at once using parallel dialing. Are you open to trying it for free for a month once we launched? And so I got some people on the wait list by doing that. And then when we launched, I was able to just launch to those people on my email list and get my paying customers from day one. So that's another way that we can validate it. If you can send 1,000 cold emails and even get like 1,020 positive responses, that's enough to let you know that this is an idea that is worth pursuing. So at this point, we found our idea. We validated our idea. We know there's demand. Maybe we've got some people on our wait list, like we know it's go to work. Now we have to actually figure out how we build our product. So there's basically 2 phases to this, 3 phases actually. So number 1 is we have to basically scope out the idea, make our user stories. What all features are we going to include in the MVP? Basically, we're going to define what the MVP is. And then number 2 is we're going to design it. And then number 3 is we're going to actually build it. So for phase 1, scoping out your MVP and define what it is. You want to keep this as simple as possible, and you only want to build the core features that deliver the bulk of the value. And so I'm going to use Closify as an example. Here, the value prop of Closify was basically experienced sales reps that you can hire faster and more affordable. That was the value prop. And if you can't say the value prop of your software and like one short sentence like that, you need to figure that out. And so with Closify, since that was the value prop, we didn't need all these fancy bells and whistles that the product had at the end of it. We basically just needed to connect business owners to good sales, to experienced sales reps that they could hire quickly and affordable. And so that's exactly what the MVP was. And I'll actually put it up on the screen here for you to actually take a look at and see what I mean. It is ugly. Like, it does not look good at all. It's basically the equivalent of like a spreadsheet of closers and business owners, but it's still made thousands of dollars, which we then put into the next version of the product. But so for number one, scope out your MVP and focus on building the features that deliver the core value that your product is promising. Okay, number two, design. Now, this is like technically like kind of optional, but we always design our products first in Firma now before we actually go and ever build anything. And that way we can see exactly how a software is going to look and feel in Firma before we actually go and build it, because you don't want to build it and like, oh, like I actually don't like how this looks and feels. And then you have to completely redo a ton of stuff. So always try to get it mocked up in Firma. First, whether you're going to learn how to design in Firma, whether you already know or you just pay someone a couple $100 to do it in Firma, I would recommend you doing it if you have the capital to do so. If not, you could kind of skip this step. I really, really urge you to, design it on Firma first. And if you want to use my in-house design team, I'll put the link in the description for you guys as well. Now, number three, development and actually building the thing. So you have actually quite a few options here. So one, maybe you're watching this and you know how to code. You can build it yourself on whatever tech stack it is that you're comfortable. Similarly, maybe you already know how to build on a no-code T-Sta, whether it's Bubble, whether it's Flood or Flow, whether it's WebSoft or God doesn't matter. You can go and build on that. But I also want to talk to the people that maybe they're like me and they're not technical at all. So one, I'm not technical at all. I built the MVP of Clarify myself because I did not have money to go out and pay someone a lot of money. So I figured out how to build it myself. And the tech stack that I used Stacker for the user interface. I used Airtable for the backend data. I used MemberStack for like memberships and like payments, which integrates with Strip. And then I use Zapier to tie everything together. And I'll also link all the different no-code tools you can use down below in the description as well. So if you're like me, when I was starting Closify and you're not technical and you're on a budget, you don't have money to shell out to people, I would look into Softer. I would look in the Glide, and then I would look into like the Stack or Airtable route. Those are like three platforms that are very, beginner friendly, very easy to use. Just keep in mind the MVP that you're going to build on these platforms. It's going to be less customizable and less scalable than what you'll need in the future, but you can get an MVP. Optic ground with these tools is my point to get your first customer into validated. Now, the other option for you is like, maybe you're not technical, but you also don't have the money to shell out to anyone. You could also aim to partner with a technical founder or co-founder. And so you could find someone that knows how to build on Bubble, that knows how to code, whatever it is, and you guys to do some sort of equity arrangement. So that way you can get an MVP made and, you didn't have to spend any money. Now, I don't necessarily always recommend this. It's just because it can be very tricky in dividing it up. It's very tricky because people want to do it 50-50, and it never makes sense to do it 50-50, which I'm not going to dive into all of that right now. But that is another option for you to get your MVP built, is to partner with a technical co-founder. And the last thing I'm to say about development is you should aim to get it live, your MVP live, and anywhere from 4 to like 6 weeks. Okay, that's a really good timer that you should try to be able to get it done inside of. And, again, while it's being built, continue to build your wait list that way. The next part we're getting to is you'll have your customer from day one. But if you did want to use my in-house development team as well, I'll put the link in the description for you to check it out, and we can get you an MVP made in 6 weeks. Okay, let's talk about getting customers now. Okay, so we got our idea, we validated it, we just talked about scoping on your MVP, designing it, and different options to get it built. Now let's talk about how to actually get customers. So one, we have our wait list. If you did that, you can send an email to them every single day for like a week straight. Be like, hey, we launched, we're live. Here's the thing I promised you. You get them on a trial. You get them on a discounted, no first month, whatever it may be, and you get customers there now. The other ways that we're going to get customers, if this is B2B, we're going to start off with the most affordable channels. Because again, we don't want to spend a ton of money up front. We want this company to pay for itself, and you have bootstrap this thing we're going to start off with. Cold email, cold calling, and content. There's a very specific reason that we do these three things together. The reason that we do cold email and cold calling and not just one or the other is because they enhance each other's results. And then the same thing with doing content in tandem with cold email and call-in is content enhances those results. So it's very specific that we're doing it this way. So for cold email, you're going to buy emails and phone numbers from ListKit.io, and there's a ton of different ways you can do your searches, but they actually just rolled out as well, intent-based data. So you can actually literally use ListKit now to buy data of companies that are really looking for what you're selling. It is absolutely crazy and revolutionary. What ListKit has done with this, like it is a game changer. I've been using them for months, like they're not paying me to say. This is not AB like ListKit's, like intent-based data is literally game chan. I'll put the link in the description for you guys to check out ListKit. But so I buy all my emails and phone numbers from there for my both cold email and my cold calling campaigns. I buy my domains from Porkbun. You guys that don't know, you have to buy basically secondary domains for cold email, so that way you don't burn your main domain. Do you hook them up to Smart? Leaded, you warm them up after like about 10 to 14 days. You're ready to start setting cold emails heroes. The exact subject lines and script that I'm using for Zap right now that you guys can basically replicate for your software. We hope you found this video helpful and engaging. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video to show your support, subscribe to the channel for more amazing content, turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Got thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you in the next video.